Welcome to Ruth Eckerd Hall's first ever virtual benefit, Something Special. Hosted by the Emmy Award-winning Lissette Campos. Joined by our esteemed auctioneer, Jason Alpert. Special performances from multi-platinum selling artist John Waite. Grammy nominee saxophonist Mindi Abair. 21-time Grammy Award winner Vince Gill. Emmy and Grammy Award winner Kenny Loggins. Singer-songwriter Livingston Taylor. And iconic singer-songwriter Paul Anka.
Something special is about to happen.
Plus, we'll be joined by Emmy Award-winning comedian Louis Anderson. Frontman and guitarist for Styx, Tommy Shaw. Blues rock superstar Joe Bonamassa. Cheap Trick's Robin Zander and his son Robin Taylor Zander.
Something special is about to happen.
And many more. You can change lives through performing arts by donating. Text REH to 56651. Donating at rutheckerdhall.com or bidding in the auction. Please register to bid at rutheckerdhall.com. Thank you for supporting Ruth Eckerd Hall's Recovery Fund. Now, enjoy the show.
Something special is about to happen thanks to all of you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissette Campos, and I am privileged to serve as your host during this live stream from Ruth Eckerd Hall. Thank you so much for joining us for this Something Special benefit. We haven't been able to use our main stages since March. As you can see, it's still dark, but tonight we are going to take this moment to shine the light on our favorite memories made right here at Ruth Eckerd Hall. We'll also look forward to the time when we can gather together again and enjoy live performing arts together. If you're joining us tonight, then Ruth Eckerd Hall is as special to you as it is to me. Each of you watching will have an opportunity to help Ruth Eckerd Hall bridge this difficult time. We want you to know that despite the global pandemic, Ruth Eckerd Hall has continued to change lives through the performing arts. We want you to know that the team here is working hard to create a plan that brings you amazing shows and does so safely. So throughout tonight's show, you'll be able to donate in several ways. You'll be able to do it by clicking on the Donate Now button. You can bid on auction items. You can donate to the Recovery Fund by visiting rutheckerdhall.com, or you can call the number that you see on your screen. So now, let's take some time to reflect on our favorite moments made right here at Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Every time I think of you, I always catch my breath, and I'm still standing here, and you're miles away, and I'm wondering why you left. And there's a storm that's raging through my frozen heart tonight. I ain't missing you at all. Since you've been gone away, I ain't missing you. No matter what I'm about to say, I ain't missing you at all. Good evening. When I grew up at school, if I did in fact grow up at school, there wasn't really a lot of music programs. There wasn't anything like that. There was, we called it music, but it was just like some old guy telling us about tempo. In America, there was like music programs and scholarships and all sorts of things to go to music college like Juilliard and stuff. And a lot of my friends followed that path and had very successful lives because of that program. I would encourage anybody that's a teacher, a student, to just immerse themselves in music, and the rest will come out just like it should. Music is a mystical power, and it's a pop sensation, and it's our history and our future. It's there in Wagner, and it's there in the Sex Pistols, and it's there in Mozart, and it's there in Jimi Hendrix. Whatever it is, it's a superlative thing. It's a beautiful thing. And all the people out there that support Ruth Eckerd, God bless you, because you're doing the right thing. And thanks.
And that was the amazing John Waite. Although I have to say, we are missing you tonight. This is the backstage area where stars like John Waite wait before going on the main stage. And this is the star dressing room. Take a look at the name, the signature next to the door, Ringo Starr of the legendary Beatles. All of these dressing rooms have been dark for months, as Ruth Eckerd Hall has had to cancel hundreds of shows in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. But just imagine all the stars that have sat down in this space over the years.
Ruth Eckerd Hall is just this incredible place, not only to play. I would say out of all the places that I play around the world and the U.S., this is just the best.
When I think of Ruth Eckerd, it's music. You know, it's music. It's all the great shows I've seen here, all the great shows I've played here. That's the greatest stage in the world here to play on. The acoustics, everybody knows. It's just a classic sounding room.
It's the Carnegie Hall of the Southeast. It's the place to go. It's what I wanted to do when I was growing up, being a teenage player, going, there's some cool places out there to play. This is one of them.
It is actually, having played almost everywhere, played most of the great concert halls in America and in England, and this is my favorite place to play, period. End of story.
It's one of those places, like my favorite place in Paris, my favorite place in Italy, my favorite place in New York, that you look back on and you can garner all of those great moments musically and then look forward to when you're planning a tour and you're going out again.
Ruth Eckerd Hall is one venue I don't want to miss, and I don't want you to miss it. So feel free to sing a line of, "Isn't it rich, are we a pair, me here at last on the ground, you in midair," which you've probably heard me sing at the Ruth Eckerd Hall. See you there.
What can I say? I love playing there. I believe we played 3 or 4 times. Each time I felt the same way. Lovely stage, great sound, great staff.
It feels like a family-run operation. You know, you see the same people working there, and it's always, the fans always show up for us there in great attendance, and it's just a fun evening. It's kind of like it's like going and visiting your cousins or aunts and uncles, and then you get to play a gig and all the friends show up.
You know, I have friends who are in that area whose kids go to a lot of the things that you guys put on. And, you know, that I wish I would have had that when I was a kid. And I just want you to know that not just for the entertainers, but all the people in the community who Ruth Eckerd Hall makes their lives easier, makes it more fun, makes it maybe they're having trouble at home, so you have that one thing to hold on to, because you need one thing to hold on to, especially during these tough times.
This place is so special. It's not only an incredible place to play, it's an incredible place for the arts. It's a hub for showing kids what music is early on, giving them ways to flourish.
And that's the part that truly impresses me about Ruth Eckerd Hall, because there's so many talented kids, especially in the state of Florida, that deserve a chance. I think about my past and my upbringing and where I am now. If I didn't have arts education as a kid growing up, I would not be here talking with you today.
We got the amazing opportunity to participate in the 2013 Grammy Revolution Project, which was at Ruth Eckerd Hall. And it was just an amazing learning experience. We got to share songwriting skills, just overall talk about music, and definitely that had a huge impact on our ability to tour and look at songs and songwriting and everything. So we're very appreciative of that experience.
Grew up obviously around my dad, so that was my coaching, being able to see a rock band on the road when I was a kid, that kind of taught me a lot. But coming here taught me a lot about the other side, like the discipline. You got to go down and study for a couple hours to get good at your instrument, and maybe that instilled a lot of that in me coming here.
It's why I appreciate Ruth Eckerd Hall so much. It's because of that reason. It's a place for kids to go and learn something that they feel in their heart and their soul, and this way they can come here and learn how to act, sing, play an instrument, and get their yayas out. That's something that they love, and that's so important.
Just all of these programs that people who maybe come to a concert at Ruth Eckerd Hall don't know about, but when they find out, they realize it's bigger than just a concert hall.
I have so many great memories of being at Ruth Eckerd Hall. I've been going down there for over 20 years, maybe 30, and I just love playing there. And what it means to me, Ruth Eckerd Hall, is familiarity. I've done this for my whole life, played a million places probably over the years, but what I like about Ruth Eckerd Hall is it's a great venue, obviously. It's a great staff, it's a great bunch of people, great catering, all the kinds of things that you're hoping for when you're out there knocking around like a gypsy like me. And I just love the familiarity of the place and the people. I've always felt like what I've done in my life with playing music and hoping somebody shows up and listens to it is it's a way to have a conversation through song and through music. And if that conversation wasn't able to come back to me, it would be very, very, very lonely. I've had a tremendous life of music for many, many years, and I thought I'd sing this song that kind of epitomizes my life in music. Do what you can for the folks at Ruth Eckerd. I've been hopping freight trains all my life. I woke up cold and hungry in the middle of the night. I've been on the wrong end of a drunkard's knife, and nowhere to send the letters that I write. And I bet I've seen most every single town. Never stopped quite long enough to ever hang around, 'cause that whistle makes a mighty lonesome sound. It's been on my mind, I'd love to settle down. I don't want to ride the rails no more. I want to know a woman's love worth dying for. Hear children playing through an old screen door. No, I don't want to ride the rails no more. Well, the train's pulling out at 9:30. The waitress said, "Hey stranger, how about one more glass of wine?" We kept talking and we lost all track of time. And the train pulled out, left us there behind. And I don't want to ride the rails no more. I dying for. Hear children playing through an old screen door. No, I don't want to ride the rails no more. For the first time in my life, I didn't run. I felt your arms around me, knew my rambling days were done. Something changed deep inside of me, and the radio played Love Is All You Need. And I don't want to ride the rails no more. I want to know a woman's love worth dying for. Hear children playing through an old screen door. No, I don't want to ride the rails no more. No, I don't want to ride the rails no more. No, I don't want to ride the rails no more. Please do what you can for all the folks at Ruth Eckerd Hall. And I'm grateful for all the many years and all the many times I've got to come down there and play music for an amazing bunch of people. See ya.
I'm backstage with you in the famous green room. If you're lucky enough to be invited to a meet and greet, this is the space where you would meet with your favorite star. Up next, I'm happy to introduce you to one of my favorites, the inimitable Paul Anka.
You've heard what I had to say, and now I'm going to sing for you. God willing, I'll be there in March to sing this song for you. Love you all. Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me once, baby? Just a kiss goodnight and a maybe. You and I will fall in love. Some people say that love's a game you just can't win. If there's a way, I'm gonna find it someday. And then this fool will rush in. Put your head on my shoulder. Whisper in my ear, baby, words I want to hear. Maybe you and I will fall in love. Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. And maybe you and I will fall in love. You and I, we're gonna fall in love.
As we were preparing the content for tonight's show for you, Ruth Eckerd Hall put out a call to stars asking them to help us tonight. Here's another one who stepped up to help.
Ruth Eckerd Hall is such a wonderful organization. I've played there so many times, and it's always been a joy. They asked me if I'd throw a quick song, and you know what I said? I would love to. Let's go fly. I've learned how. Stick out your arms, run real fast, pick up your feet, and wow, we're headed for the blue, but things get clear. And that special place we tried to find is somehow oh so near. What a way to be with you, hand in hand above the clouds. I have loved you quite forever, now I'm saying it right out loud. What a kick to open our eyes and watch the world go drifting on. Slap my seat, wiggle my feet, with you I belong. Let's go swim in the ocean deep. Get relaxed, breathe real easy as if you were asleep. We can watch while dolphins play and hum along to that bubbly song that they sing on holiday. What a way to be with you, special guests in the fish parade. I have loved you quite forever, they're thanking you for the life you've made. Who would have thunk when we got sunk we could find a different song? Wherever you are is where I belong. Oh, your touch is magic. Oh, your voice is music. Your easy smile reminds me I'm okay. And your eyes are clear and bright, filled with joy and light. And I cannot wait to know where our love will go today. Outer space, oh, that'll be fine. We'll kick it right up to the speed of light and drift back to the time before we met. Before I knew that someday I'd see you smile and my life would all be new. Weightless when I'm in your orbit, gravity when you are near. I have loved you quite forever. Should I tell NASA that you're here? Voyager took a left at Pluto into the dark of the great beyond. Tag along and find new stars. Darling, where you are, I belong.
And right now we're in the Hoffman Family Dress Circle Lounge, a beautiful space. Ruth Eckerd Hall relies on a combination of ticket sales and donations. You can imagine after months of no shows on the main stage, your donations are more important than ever before. Ruth Eckerd Hall is a not-for-profit theater owned by the community. So it's you, the community, that will help keep Ruth Eckerd Hall moving forward towards better times. In fact, if it wasn't for local residents, men and women just like you and me who saw a need and stepped up to fill it, Ruth Eckerd Hall might not be here.
Ruth Eckerd Hall first came into my experience across the dining room table in my home when my dad and mom and other community leaders were sitting around talking about the need and necessity. And started a long time ago, and I remember the first gold shovel going in the dirt, being here for that as a teenager. Look back at those pictures in this, way back when.
I find it really inspirational to look at the founding of Ruth Eckerd Hall, because from the start, it was very clear what the intention of our founders was. And that was to create a world-class facility.
About 40 years ago, I believe it was April of '79, and I received a telephone call from a friend of mine by the name of Barry Alpert. And he told me that they were going to put together the seed money to create an arts facility.
Now, Charlie Ruckberg and I had been working together on this very, very closely. And I said, Charlie, this has got to be the finest hall that we can build. My motivation was really, I wanted to really do some good for the community.
That first shovel turning event was the cornerstone of the building of Clearwater. Outside of our beaches, it became really the flag of what we really are. But the excitement of the probably 30 shovels that we had for all the people who pulled the weight to open up the hall. The plans were laid out, the dream was exposed, the names were presented, and it was the highlight of my life that this dream was coming to fruition. It's incredible how the community in its entirety came behind this effort. So many people played a role that it automatically became community owned.
To those who really started Ruth Eckerd Hall many years ago, I thank them for being visionaries. Decisions like that, the money that had to be raised, the location that had to be created, it takes intestinal fortitude.
And you think about that and you think that's a miracle, how they were able to create all that. But then you think, okay, that's just the beginning. And so over time, what we've done, we've expanded our education. We added on an education building. We just completed our second expansion. And all along that way of those 38 years, people have continued to step up.
The reasons for starting the hall, the community that got it going, are still there. The board of directors all through the years continues that initial concept that the founders had. I think with everything that the hall does, the education program, the shows, the other things in the community, currently having the food drive with the Salvation Army, having the COVID-19 testing is just part of the community. So I think Ruth Eckerd Hall plays a very large part in our community.
I will tell you that the response from our legislators, our representatives, has been very, very positive. They know we're hurting. Each one I talk to says, it's not only about you surviving, it's about the service you provide our community, because the arts is so important. It is such a positive experience in the lives of people, and they need that more now than ever.
I think that right now, we would just say to people, get involved, help as much as you can. These people need us. They're looking, they just want to come back to work. It's not about money. It's about doing what they love and what they care about and what they're passionate about. And so I think it's going to be incumbent upon us to help as much as we can.
I am grateful for these beautiful facilities that we have that have come from the support of our partners in the community, our sponsors, our donors, our friends. I'm so proud and grateful for what we have here physically. I'm so proud and grateful for our staff who are so committed to a mission, who love what they do, absolutely love what they do, and it shows. And I'm incredibly grateful for those supporters who have helped us through this very difficult time. I've said it before and I'll say it again, you inspire us to dig in and go farther and persevere through this. We look forward to the day that we can open our doors and serve and welcome everyone again to their happy place.
I've had so many soul-moving experiences in that hall. And I guess if you ask me what my legacy would be, it would be that just to know that has given so much pleasure and inspiration to possibly millions of people.
And take a look at what I just borrowed from Jason. He'll be auctioning this off a little later in the show, a surfboard signed by the Beach Boys. But first, here's our hometown hero, Mindi Abair.
Hey, you guys, we're here on my back porch and we're going to play you a song. We just want to say hello to everyone at Ruth Eckerd Hall and thank you for everything you're doing with Marcia P. Hoffman School of the Arts. You guys are the coolest. This song is for you. I wrote it. It's called Bloom. And as you grow up, that's what you're going to do, is bloom into something amazing.
Where are the dreams that we once had? This is the time to bring them back. What were the promises? Caught on the tips of our tongues. Do we forget or forgive? There's a whole other life waiting to be lived. One day we'll brave enough to talk with conviction of the heart. Down your roadside I walked alone, as if my feet were not my own. Such is the path time shows, doors I have opened and closed. I'm tired of living this life, fooling myself, believing we're right when I'd never given love with any conviction of the heart. One with the earth, with the sky, one with everything in life. I believe we'll survive if we only try. How much we are waiting to change the world bound in chains that we give it. Too many years of taking now. Isn't it time we stop somehow? If that's too angry to breathe, water our children can't drink. You've heard it hundreds of times. You say you're aware, believe and you care. Do you carry love? Where's your conviction? The heart.
Ruth Eckerd Hall has continued to serve our community even while the main stages have been dark. In fact, this theater, the Murray Theater, has been transformed to create a virtual classroom setting. It's allowed the teachers of the Marsha P. Hoffman School of the Arts to stay connected with their students during this pandemic. Yes, the traditional classrooms are empty, but that never stopped our teachers and our students from staying connected. By donating tonight, you can help Ruth Eckerd Hall continue to fund these very important educational programs. We've been finding very creative ways to continue to teach and to learn. This summer, our amazing students provided a virtual presentation of Oklahoma.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning! Oh, what a beautiful day! I got a beautiful feeling, everything's going my way.
Poor Judith is dead. A candle lights his head. He's looking oh so pretty and so nice. It looks like he's asleep. It's a shame that he won't keep. But it's summer and we're running out of ice.
We hope you're enjoying the show from wherever you're watching. We certainly love having you. Tonight's goal is to raise $150,000 to help Ruth Eckerd Hall bridge this time. Just a reminder that you can donate anytime by calling the number you see on your screen, by clicking on the Donate Now button, or by donating to the Recovery Fund by visiting rutheckerdhall.com. Your donations are more important than ever before. And with that, I'd like to turn things over now to our esteemed auctioneer who's waiting in the main lobby. Please welcome Mr. Jason Alpert.
So we open up the bid on that at $500. Kim Scroncy bid $500, and then Kim also bid $750 because you can set a max bid, you can set a high bid. Richard Fox came in at $1,000. So now what we're doing is we're looking for a $1,250 bid to keep this auction lot going. Understand, it's going to close just like John England is in at $1,250. I like to see that, John. Our sponsor of this live auction, he's also one of my favorite bidders in live auctions. So John, thank you. I don't know if it's you bidding or Beth's got her finger on your phone. One way or another, you guys are getting the bids in. Greg, let me tell you, as an auctioneer, people named John Smith never bid in a live auction. It's always people like Greg Schratzweiser. So Greg, thank you so much for your $1,500 bid. Now I need a $1,750 bid. Is there anybody at $1,750, whether it's Kim or Richard or John, who's going to come back at $1,750? Understand this is going to close just like a live auction in person. I'm going to say going once, going twice, and when I do say that S word, which I don't like to tease anybody by saying it now because they may actually close it, but when I say that S word, it is going to be closed and the auction will be finished. We'll announce who wins there. So we had Kim, then Richard, then John, then Greg. Now we got a new bidder, Andrea Daniels, in at $1,750. Who's going to go $2,000? Yeah, we can applaud that, right? We're getting those bids coming in. So I need a $2,000 bid for the autographed surfboard, Mike Love and Bruce Johnston. The 3-day, 2-night stay at the Hard Rock, I need somebody at $2,250. Who's at? Greg is now back in at $2,000. I need somebody to go $2,250 now. Who's in at $2,250? I want to see you, John. I want to see you. Andrea Daniels comes back at $2,250. It's Greg and Andrea going back and forth one time now. Who's in at $2,500? Anybody want to go $2,500 one time? Again, we're about to say it, and as I say it, we're going to round it out and see who wants in and see who buys this item, who wins this item, and also supports Ruth Eckerd Hall. So we got $2,250, we got $2,500. Is there anybody in at $2,750? I will also tell you, I'll remind you, don't rely on your Wi-Fi or your cell phone signal at this point, right? If you're going to wait for going once, going twice, you may miss out just because you don't get to refresh quick enough. So I got a $2,500 bid. We're looking for $2,750. We're at $2,500 going once for Greg. We're at $2,500 going twice. We got a new one at $2,750. Andrea Daniels in at $2,750. So now all the way back since $1,500, it's been nobody but Greg and Andrea, Greg and Andrea, Greg and Andrea. Heavyweight boxing match, just taking each other out one way or another, right? $3,000 from Greg. We're in at $3,000. Somebody want to go $3,250. When I say somebody, I am looking at you, Andrea. I'm looking directly at you. Who's going to go $3,250 before we close it out? I have a $3,000 bid from Greg going once. Come on, Andrea, you don't want to lose this over just $500. You can get there at $3,250. There we got it. Andrew's in at $3,250. Greg, you want to go $3,500. I'm going to start that going once one more time and say, Greg's now in at $3,500. Who's in at $3,750? $3,750, the unique one-of-a-kind autographed surfboard and the hotel stay. I need a $3,750 bid. We're about to wrap it up one more time. Again, there's only so much time we got to work on each item. We're at $3,500. Who's going to go $3,750? We're at $3,500 going once. She gasped for air over here, right? She wants to see if Andrea's coming back one more time. We're at $3,500 going twice. Are you ready? Sold. Thank you from Ruth Eckerd Hall. Now, because of technology, what we're going to do is we're going to watch the screen one more time and just confirm that that is our winning bidder. Brianna, is that the one? That's it. We have Greg Schwarzweiser at $3,500. Thank you, Greg, from Ruth Eckerd Hall. All right. Let's move on to our next live auction lot. This one, I love these items that you really can't get anywhere else. It's not like you can go onto Amazon and buy this. All right, take that, Jeff Bezos. You can't buy everything on Amazon. But what you can do is you can come to Ruth Eckerd Hall. And at Ruth Eckerd Hall, you are going to get a behind-the-scenes tour from our CEO, Susan Crockett, and our Chief Programming Officer, Bobby Rossi. They will take you everywhere and anywhere you want to go at Ruth Eckerd Hall. Lissette showed you many of those backstage areas, but you're going to go there yourself. You're going to go to the Ringo Starr dressing room, the Frankie Valli dressing room. They're going to take you to the highs and the lows of the theater. They're not only going to show you the fly loft, where they work all the mechanics atop of the stage to make everything look great, but they're also going to take you to the lows of Ruth Eckerd Hall. Not the bad parts, the lows being the orchestra pit. They're going to take you down there as well. But what might be the best part of this package, in addition to the behind-the-scenes tours everywhere and anywhere you want to go at the hall that you might have always wanted to see, how about a private lunch on the main stage? They're going to set you up with an elegant gourmet lunch on that main stage, prepared by Ruth Eckerd Hall's own Chef Rich. Now, some of you may know him as Chef Rich. Others of you may know him as Chef to the Stars, because everyone who comes to Ruth Eckerd Hall, all our performers, all our celebrities, they rave about Chef Rich and what he provides to them while they were here. So this is a package for 4 people. So this will be a lunch for 6, because Bobby and Susan will eat as well. And it will be for our 4 auction winners who come in. And I can also tell you this, as I look at our bidders here and I see Pamela is an early bidder, Adam's an early bidder, I will tease you all just a little bit and say that as long as those bids keep going up there, I bet Susan, we can twist her arm just enough to let you sing from the main stage, to let you blare out to your heart's desire. Whatever you want to blare out, you can do just that. So we open up the bid on this. Pamela Schumacher got in at $300. Adam Abelson got in at $400. We need a $500 bid to keep this one going. It is for 4 people. So right now I'm looking for about $125 a person for just a lunch. You could be for $125 a person, but ultimately you're going to go behind the scenes. Cindy White is in at $500. We now need somebody to go 6. Is there a $600 bidder out there? Anybody want to go behind the scenes, anywhere you want to go in the hall? We got it. Now we got some action going. Cindy White is in at 5. Sandra Cannington is in at 6. Tony Berman is in at 7. As an auctioneer, I like nothing more than when we have 7 different bidders to get us started. But Cindy White has come back now at $800. Who wants to go 9? Is there a $900 bidder out there? Anybody want to go $900? Who's in one time at $900? The opportunity to stand on the same stage that the world's most famous celebrities and stars have stood on and sang from that spot, and you will be there as well. The main stage, the lunch, all over the hall. I got an $800 bid right now. Tony, you're gonna come back one more time at $900. Is Tony gonna get it at 9? Is Sandra gonna come back in at 9? Who's gonna go one more time at $900? We're about to wrap this one up. I'm gonna start it at 800. Again, you don't have much time, so here's what we're gonna do. I wanna see if Adam wants to come back one more time. Pamela wants to come back. Cindy White has been our first 2-time bidder. Sandra Cannington was in at 6. Tony Berman in at 7. We got an $800 bid now, we're looking for 9. I wouldn't trust your cell phone signal because I'm about to call it. If you're gonna put in the bid, I would put it in now. I need $900 before it closed out. We are at $800 going once. We are at $800 going twice. Are you ready? Sold, thank you, from Ruth Eckerd Hall. All right, so again, I want to refresh that and confirm. We got our top bidder there, yes? Cindy White wins it at $800. Congratulations, Cindy, and thank you for supporting Ruth Eckerd Hall. All right, we will now move on to the item that each year at our in-person gala is our most popular item, or arguably our most popular item. But this is a dinner for 10, but it's not just any dinner for 10. You're gonna be hosted at one of the most iconic homes in one of the most historic neighborhoods in all of Clearwater. But it's more. You're gonna be hosted by the Honorable Frank Hibbert and his talented wife, Teresa. They're gonna prepare your meal. They are gonna set your tables. They are going to be your wait staff. They're gonna take care of every one of your needs and desires during this dinner. And understand that while you are there, they are gourmet chefs. They are gonna prepare your meal for you. It's sous vide style. If you don't know what sous vide style is, folks, it is basically it translates in French to under vacuum. It is using vacuum to cook food at perfect temperatures and perfect ways. So understand that the bidding's already going on here, and I can see you guys working there. I love to see this right here. And understand you can set a high bid, and what has happened here is we had somebody set a low bid to start, and it has bid them up. So Adam Abelson opened it up at $500, kind of a joke to start this one at $500, but we like to work you guys a little bit here. So then Brian Ungst got in, and Brian was in at $750. A bunch of mayors going back and forth at that point, right? So we had Adam, then Brian, and then Brian, basically the computer bid Adam up because other people were bidding against Brian, and Brian got a bid all the way up to $2,000 until John England came in at $2,250, and Bruce Thibodeau at $2,500, and John England back at $2,750. That's right, we can applaud for that too, right? So we've got the bid to $2,750. Greg Schratzweiser is now in at $3,000. So we've got Brian and John and Bruce and Greg all going out this dinner, right? Understand you're gonna be going to the Harbor Oaks neighborhood. Again, one of the most historic neighborhoods in all of Clearwater. It's been around for more than 100 years, but I promise you, the Hibbert's home has been remodeled a few times since it was built, right? The neighborhood more than 100 years old, and it is historic and it is awesome, but it is about the company, the camaraderie, the food. So we had John England at $2,750, Greg Schratzweiser at $3,000. John England came back at $3,250. We need a $3,500 bid. I'm gonna pick my clipboard up. I'm so excited we're getting these bids. That's perfect, right? I now need a $3,500 bid to keep this one going. Is it Bruce? Is it John? Is it Greg? Right now it's John at $3,250. Who's gonna go $3,500? Anybody wanna go $3,500? We got it, Bruce Thibodeau in at $3,500. Who's gonna go $3,750? Is there a $3,750? We got it, John England's back at $3,750. Who's gonna go $4,000? Bruce Thibodeau, you're gonna go $4,000 one time. Who's gonna go? Anybody want in at $4,000? Again, we're talking about a dinner for 10. All in. I also can tell you that Frank has hinted that the higher the bid, the finer the wine. right? So I have a feeling he'll dig a little bit deeper if you get this bid up to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Let's see if we can get there. I need a $4,000 bid now. Who's going to go $4,000 one time? Remember, you can set that max bid and let the computer bid up for you, but I need somebody in at $4,000. Is it Greg? Is it John? Or is it Bruce? Those are my three top bidders coming into this point. John England is now in at $3,750. Who's going to go $4,000? Anybody want to go one time? Anybody want in? Who's going to go $4,000? Going to get it one time? I'm looking at my screen here. We got to see it one time. Anybody want in? Anybody want to go? Who's going to go one time? Anybody want to go $4,000? And I really just do that to pass the time, and the people here, I think, like to hear that, right? Anybody want to go one time at $4,000? We're going to close it out. I have a feeling that Bruce Thibodeau has got his finger on that button, and he is going to get that $4,000 bid. Okay? Okay, but we have to get there first. So we're going to go $4,000 one time. Does anybody want to get in? So here's how it's going to work. We're going to close this one out at $3,750. We're at $3,750 going once. And ultimately, it might be a little hard technically to execute this, but the message that was sent to me is that if we get this above $4,000, we might actually be able to do two of these. So let's see if that's going to happen. So we're at John England at $3,750 going once. We're at John England at $3,750 going twice. All right, I got a $4,000 bid from John England, so that's great, right? But the magic of all this is that we need another $4,000 bidder if we want to match that, right? So I'm going to ask Bruce Thibodeau one time, and here's how it's going to work, Bruce. If you bid $4,250 at this point, right? Understand that all I'm going to do there is I'm going to sell it to both of you at $4,000. So do me a favor, if anyone wants in for our second dinner. All right, so we got that $4,250 bid. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and close it out. If you can go ahead and close. And I think that there's gonna be a little bit of execution that we're gonna have to do on our side here to get those bids where we need them to be. But ultimately, we're selling two of these. We have a $4,000 bid and a winning bid from John England. We're also gonna sell it at $4,000 to Bruce Thibodeau for a total sell price on this one of $8,000 for Ruth Eckerd Hall. Thank you to the Englands, and thank you to the Thibodeaus, and also, of course, thank you to Frank Hibbard for making that possible for us. All right, you've got your work cut out for you, Frank and Teresa, to dig deep for some good wine now, right? All right. Now, the next part of the program that we will head into is called the Bid from the Heart. And in the Bid from the Heart, you're not going to get a dinner. You're not going to get, an opportunity to have a surfboard from the Beach Boys. You're going to get the opportunity to give from the bottom of your heart directly to our mission. And that's why we call it the Bid from the Heart. Now, during this part of the program, again, all of your bidding, once again, is done through your mobile device or your TV or your laptop, however you've been donating and bidding to this point. There is a green donate button at the top of every screen that you can get to. You're going to need to know where that is when we get to the part where we're going to ask you to give your donation. The question that we pose during our Bid from the Heart is, what if we lost our stages? And I don't even mean just Ruth Eckerd Hall. What if we lost our stages everywhere? What would this world be like? More specifically, once you get down to it, what would our community be like if we lost our stages, if we lost Ruth Eckerd Hall? We pose that question to many of our, not only celebrities and performers and musicians and artists who have come through here, but we also pose that question to our sponsors like Clearwater Cardiovascular Consultants, who sponsored tonight's live stream. We give them a chance to weigh in on what if we lost our stages.
Hello, my name is Fred Simmons, and I'm the CEO of Clearwater Cardiovascular Consultants. This year has been different than any other year. With the entertainment venues dark, one of the things we miss the most is spending time with you, our friends, the staff, and the artists at Ruth Eckerd Hall and the Bilheimer Capitol Theater. Please join the physicians and staff of Clearwater Cardiovascular Consultants in supporting Ruth Eckerd Hall and the Marcia P. Hoffman School of the Arts in this time of great need. Thank you.
What will it be like if all the stages go away? I don't even want to think about that. I mean, a lot of times, I guess we've taken it for granted, but I'm talking to you from a digital device, and you're probably consuming this on a digital device. Is it the same? No.
If these stages go away, there'll be a cultural change in America that I don't know what it is, but it's not going to be good.
But what does that affect? It affects the artist, obviously, but all of the crew, all of the house crew, the bookers, buyers, security, restaurants around an area in the city.
What would the city of Clearwater be without Ruth Eckerd Hall? Well, first of all, we'd be a poorer community. because we would not have the arts. We would not have the diversity that Ruth Eckerd Hall brings to us.
We'd lose the fun and happiness of going to see live entertainment. It's sort of like a religion in a way, where it's so important to your well-being. I would say it's music is a healing force.
It would crush people. It really would. I mean, you've got to have it. People live for this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing to live for. I live for music, and I turned out to be a nice young gentleman.
If you can find a couple of shekels, a couple of bucks, as my mom would always say, give them a couple dollars. What's it gonna hurt? We're probably, not gonna use that money right now, and maybe it'll help someone else. You can't go wrong helping someone, Louie. You really can't.
You can't go wrong with helping someone. Louie, I couldn't have put it better myself, or maybe as your mom had put it, right? His mom also said, give him a few dollars. That's what we're about to ask you to do during this part of the program, is to dig deep and to give those few dollars. Understand that it's estimated that 95% of stages will not survive this pandemic, but Ruth Eckerd Hall will. I'm confident about it. Everyone in this room is confident about it. Yeah. Everyone watching here tonight, I believe, is confident about it. Understand, as you heard this evening, Ruth Eckerd Hall has a special place in our community. Our founders are local members that had the vision and gave their time, their treasure, their talents to create a special beacon of arts right here in Clearwater. As you heard from the stars throughout this program, Ruth Eckerd Hall is a second home to them as well, not only just to you who sits in the theater, but them from up on the stage. Your help tonight will ensure that Ruth Eckerd Hall can navigate this difficult time and come back just as strong as ever. When we've been able to gather in person, this part of the program, the Bid from the Heart, oftentimes raises more than $100,000. During our grand reopening gala, the last time we were able to meet in person at a fundraiser, we set a record during the Bid from the Heart. This year we can't gather in person, but we come to you virtually. And we ask you, we hope you'll still dig deep during our Bid from the Heart. We're so thankful to our donors who give throughout the year over and over. Tonight, our overall goal was to raise $150,000 through sponsorship, the live auction, the silent auction. We are well on our way there, but we're hoping to add $90,000 to help us get to that $150,000 mark just in the Bid from the Heart. It's all going to go towards that recovery fund we've talked about a few times. Understand that once again, we need you to look for that green donate button on your phone. I have on my screen here, I know you know where it is because people are already starting to donate, but it's going to work just like we do when we are in person at our events. I'm going to call out the dollar amounts, and as I call them out, you're going to hit the button and we will acknowledge you and thank you for your donation as it comes in. Understand that it's going to cost Ruth Eckerd Hall an additional $250,000 when it's time to open their doors again. Tonight, we can help make a dent in those reopening costs. That extra expense that Ruth Eckerd Hall never planned to have to do. Whoever plans for anything like this? But understand that while those extra costs are high, they are also vital to the safety of our guests, our performers, to all of you who come here. The way this Bid from the Heart is going to work, as I mentioned, I'm going to call out some numbers that are a little bit high, and then we're going to work our way down. As I call out the dollar amount you want to give, you hit the donate button, and all those bars with the numbers on it show up on your bidding device. And then I see them here, and I will call them out. I know many of you are donating already. Our goal, once again, is $95,000. I think we can blow the water out of that, right? I got a little fist pump behind the camera. We're about to see how we do. So here's how we can do. Here's what we can do. We can start off our Bid from the Heart at $20,000. $20,000, I understand, is a big number, but I also know that it can make an incredible amount of difference for our reopening plan. So I'm going to look over here and I'm going to watch for any $20,000 donors that come in. We've already raised more than $20,000 in donations less than $20,000. We will acknowledge many of them throughout the Bid from the Heart part of the program. Anyone at $20,000, and if not at $20,000, how about at $15,000? A $15,000 donation installs contact-free screening to the Bilheimer Capitol Theater for $15,000. Is there a $15,000 donor out there? Ring that bell, I want to hear that, right? We do have a $15,000 donor. The Doyle families are in at $15,000. How about that, right? The Doyle, such a huge supporter of Ruth Eckerd Hall year after year. Thank you. to all of the Doyles involved in that donation of $15,000. Who else at $15,000? Are there other donors who will follow their lead? They're in at $15,000. Who will join them? I'm looking at you. We got another one came in, right? Another donation at $15,000. Leah and Glenn Bergoffen. Thank you to the Bergoffens at $15,000. Folks, I will tell you, the Doyles and the Bergoffens, a lot of times these big donations are set up ahead of time, and they tell us to come up here and say, they'll give their $15,000 if you'll give your $15,000. That's not what either one of these families did. These families said, we believe in this mission to the tune of $15,000. Who's with us? Who will follow our lead? Who will support Ruth Eckerd Hall as we have? Anyone else at $15,000 before we move on to the next level? I'm going to keep watching the screens here, and I keep seeing those donations as they roll in. We're going to acknowledge as many of them as we can, but we're seeing if there's other donors at $15,000. How about my donors at $10,000? Are there $10,000 donors out there? We got our first one. There it is. The Cantonis family is in at $10,000. And listen, as amazing as this is, they gave $10,000 now. And one of the donors that gave during our program, Maria Cantonis, gave $1,000 as well then. So a total of $11,000 from the Cantonis family. Thank you. Who else at $10,000? Who else is in at $10,000 for Ruth? We got another one. John and Beth England is in at $10,000. Thank you. John and Beth, thank you for supporting Ruth Eckerd Hall. Who else at $10,000? We've got 2 so far, and I will tell you that goal that we've set, we might have underestimated what our viewers and our supporters are able to do with us here this evening. Anyone else at $10,000? Believe me, your accountant will thank me. It's a nice round even number. A lot of zeros, they like that. Anyone else at $10,000 before we move on? We'll keep working our way down and understand that all those buttons stay open the whole time. So whether you put in the donation when I get to your dollar amount, or you're like, oh, I was in the bathroom and I came back, I missed my spot, please put it in at any time. Anybody else at $10,000? We've also got that phone number at any reason that you want to call in, 727-791-7400. Where are my donors at $5,000? At $5,000, you'll fund air purification for 2 classrooms. Think about how important that is right now at Ruth Eckerd Hall. Keeping that air nice and clean. We've got it. Dr. Bill and Linda Selvage. Dr. Bill and Linda Selvage at $5,000. How about that, right? Who else at $5,000? Are there other $5,000 donors out there who will support the hall? The Schumacher family. The Schumacher Family Fund is a $5,000 donor. You see it up there on your screen. The thermometer continues to rise. We are creeping up to 95,000. But believe me, at this point, we're not going to celebrate 95 because I believe we got more work to do. Who else at 5,000 wants to get in? Baycare Health Systems is in at $5,000. How about that, right? Baycare is a $5,000 donor. That's 3 back to back to back. The Selvages, the Schumachers, Baycare. Who else at 5? Is there another $5,000 donor out there? We just got it. Philip Beauchamp is in at $5,000. Thank you to the Beauchamps. And Prime Air Conditioning is in at $5,000. I love to see that. And Brianna, let's do this. More can come in, but let's scroll up a little bit because I know we missed a few 5s that came. Go all the way to the bottom. Let's work our way up from the bottom. So here's what we'll do. I know there's some 5s, so scroll up a little bit. Perfect. Keep going. Our first 5 is right there. Kate Tiedemann and Ellen Cotton gave $5,000 earlier in the program. Frank Hibbard, Frank and Teresa gave $5,000 earlier in the program. Thank you to the Hibbards as well. Mike Bollenback, our board chair. Mike, thank you for your $5,000 donation. Anyone else at $5,000? We mentioned the Selvages and the Schumachers, Baycare, Beauchamps, Prime Air. Anyone else at $5,000? That's right, that number has creeped over 95,000, but just wait when we celebrate how much we've raised. Our next level is a great level because this level is technology for a virtual classroom. Folks, this is where the world is going, virtual classrooms. $2,000 will help fund technology for a virtual classroom. Who can help us at $2,000 and hit that donate button on their phone? And once you hit the donate button, the $2,000 bar shows up and you hit that and we get to roll from there. Who's in at $2,000? Cindy White is a $2,000 donor. Cindy, thank you so much. Charlie Rutz is in. Where was Charlie? Charlie's a $2,000 donor. We'll take that from Charlie. Thank you. Who else at $2,000? Brianna, were there any others above at the $2,000 level? I don't think there were, but I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. Anyone else at $2,000 or above? We're at $101,620 with more work to do. Who else at $2,000 to help fund that technology in that classroom? The classroom and arts and education programs that are so important here at Ruth Eckerd. Anyone else at $2,000? We'll keep working our way. Oh, the Bouchards are in at $2,000. Ray Bouchard, thank you so much. Anyone else at $2,000? I'm okay if you're out there like Ray. He says, listen, I want to be a little drama queen and wait till he's about to go on to the next level. We'll take that. Anybody else? Ray and Nikki Bouchard, our last donors at $2,000. Who's in at $1,000 now? Where are my $1,000 donors for Ruth Eckerd Hall? At $1,000, you can disinfect the theater after a performance. Again, so much of the funds that we're raising are part of that reopening plan, and so much of that is about disinfecting the theater, and that's what we're able to do. The theater, the classrooms, the offices, the lobby. $1,000 it costs to disinfect the entire theater. Who's in at $1,000 for Ruth Eckerd Hall? We're at $103,620. We're waiting to see. We got it. There, Randy and Jolene Luce at $1,000. Anyone else at $1,000? Where are my $1,000 donors? We know so many of you sponsored tonight. We know so many of you bought and won auction items tonight. Thank you for that. This bid from the heart is not only for the people who haven't yet had a chance to give, but also for those who have given and see the need and want to give more. Anyone else at $1,000? People often say, Jason, aren't the awkward silences difficult? We got another one that just came in. Barry and Judith Alpert. I know them a little bit. Thank you so much for your donation here this evening. Anyone else at $1,000? That's what it is, those awkward silences. Sometimes it gives people a chance to think, to put in those donations. Anybody else at $1,000? Another one, Cindy White is in at $1,000. By the way, Cindy was also a donor at $2,000, and she's like, Jason, listen, if you don't call $3,000, I'm going to find a way to give it no matter what. Here's another one, Alan Baumstein in at $1,000. So Alan, thank you at your $1,000 donation. Anyone else? We're at $107,620 at the $1,000 level. Who's in at $1,000 before we move on? Oh yeah, let's scroll down. Let's go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom. Let's get those. Thank you. So I'm looking at the screen right here. We mentioned that one already. Cathy Smith was a $1,000 donor. So Cathy, thank you. These are all donations that came in earlier in the program. George Feaster was a $1,000 donor. George, thank you. Let's see if we've got any more up there. I think that's it from what was coming in earlier. Anybody else? All right. We'll move down to the next level. The next level is our $500 level. Susan Decker-Ross got in at $500 a moment ago, so Susan, thank you so much. Anyone else at $500? Linda MacArthur is in at $500. Thank you to Linda at $500. Let's go ahead and scroll to the bottom. We'll read these also from the bottom as well for our $500 donors. I know we had a handful of those. Our $500, is it John Giegel? Might be John Geigel. Either way, John, thank you and thonk you. However you say that one, Geigel or Giegel. Thank you to John. Cesar Lara, thank you for your $500 donation. Carla Washinko is a $500 donor. That's right. All these people got in before we even asked for the $500 donations. Fagel Oxman is a $500 donor. Thank you to you at $500. John Simmons is a $500 donor. John, thank you for supporting Ruth Eckerd Hall. Anyone else at $500 as we scroll back to the top where I see the donors as they've been coming in? Joan Vecchioli, thank you. Joan is a $500 donor. I love seeing some of these folks who were already sponsors of the event and decided to give more. Kimberly Jackson is in at $500. We're now at $109,870. Who else at $500? We're going to look up one more time at my screen here, and I'm going to see if anyone else is $500 before we move on to the next level. Because the next level that I asked for is the $100 level. And understand at this point, $100, yes, refills the hand sanitizer stations for a month. But I'll also tell you that any dollar amount you want to give, whether it's 100 or 250, anything above 100 at this point. So I know we've got a lot of these that we want to call, so let's scroll up again from the beginning of the show, because many of these donations came in earlier. So Dorinda Fochtman was in at $100. Thank you. Melanie Adams was in at 100. Paul Potenza was a $100 donor. Susan Taylor was in at 100. William Horn is a $100 donor. Howard Tuttle at $100. Nadine Spring is a $100 donor. Adam Abelson, thank you at $100. Peggy Tuttle, thank you for your $100 donation. Joni Long, $200 donor. Pamela Schumacher, $250 donor. Thank you. Keep going there. Jan Snelling, I see you working there. Jan, you're a $100 donor as well. Anne Marie Caltagaroni is a $100 donor. Thank you to Anne Marie. Kimberly Foley at $100. Tony Berman at $100. The names just keep rolling and scrolling. I love to see it. Eleanor, I know Eleanor too. I'm going to do my best on this one. I'm going to get this one wrong. Sir Searchy. I think it's Eleanor Searchy. So thank you, Eleanor, at $100. Keep scrolling one more time up to the top. Any 100 since we actually started asking for 100. Robert and Leslie Friedman is a $100 donor. They are. Dan Lee is a $100 donor. Any more at the top there? Patricia Donahue, thank you for your $100 donation. And Holly Krasidio is a $100 donor. Laura LeBlanc is in at 100, and Laura, staff here at Ruth Eckerd Hall, doing just that. Anyone else at 100? What I will tell you now is the time to put in any dollar donation, whether it's $40 or whether it's $40,000. If I didn't call your number, now's the time to put it in. If I called your number and you couldn't figure out how to do it, now's the time to either put it in or now's the time to call 727-791-7400. I'm going to read the phone number one more time, then I'm going to go back. I'm going to call out the donations that have come in. The phone number again, 727-791-7400. The more donations that have come in since I last called them, Ted Johnson is a $200 donor. Lou Giocondo is a $250 donor. Robin Ottavanio is a $100 donor. Because folks, what I would tell you is that we talked beginning of this program where we were going to set the goal. The goal was initially set at $50,000. And we said, you know what? We believe that our donors and our supporters can do more and can do better. We then set it at $60,000. It then went up to $80,000. Internally, we said, you know what? $95,000 is the max. Not only did we do $95,000, not only did we do $100,000, not only did we do $105,000, not only did it $110,000, what we just did there in the Bid from the Heart, a virtual Bid from the Heart, is raise $110,720. That is awesome. Now, understand that we're not necessarily finished with you, because not only can you continue to donate during the conclusion of the program, but we're going to continue working on our fundraising every day, and we'll continue to do so. That recovery fund will continue, and the text to give number will be available at any time, so anytime you want to make a donation. And it's a wonderful start, the money we just raised, but there's a long way to go to make sure that our beautiful stage is protected through these difficult times, and you can help. So here's the one thing we're going to ask you for as we wrap up the program. At the end of this program, we're going to send you a link. We're going to ask you to forward that link to as many people as you can and ask them to watch the program, to hear and to understand not only the great work that Ruth Eckerd Hall is doing in this community, but understand the need that Ruth Eckerd Hall has that will allow them to continue to thrive in this community, to come back through these trying times. Our plan, ladies and gentlemen, is to come back, and not only come back, but come back bigger and better than ever before. And we know we can do it. You know why? Because we'll do it together. My name is Jason Alpert. I have loved being your MC and your auctioneer tonight, but the show has one more cap. The cap on is to turn it back over to your host from earlier on in the evening to finish her tour, to finish her comments. We're going to turn it back over to Lissette to wrap things up. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, Jason. That was so much fun. And thank you for your generosity. From all of us here at Ruth Eckerd Hall, thank you and good night.